Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 47. Happy Thursday. Happy almost weekend. So excited
True.
about that.
Yeah.
I just realized that I'm actually wearing collar tonight. If I'm always wearing like black or gray. I think in like almost everything, or like an
That's
Illinois
true.
sweatshirt. So this beautiful scarf you actually gave me last year for Christmas.
I know. Now I got to figure out what to do again.
I love it.
Although that is partly what we're going to talk about,
Yes.
actually,
So
in a strange sort of way.
we've been talking about, we were joking about it at first, but then we were just kind of talking about it, and then just kind of thought, what if we get tattoos?
Right. Well, I don't remember exactly how it came up, but I joked about.
And by the way, that woman knew that she.
Yeah, I saw the comment. I joked about having tattoos, and then and then we started talking about it, and we were sort of joking about it.
Yeah.
And then we started thinking, because I didn't know if you were serious
Yes.
about actually wanting to do it. I mean, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure.
Right.
And so then I'm notorious for having bad ideas for presents. So I said, well, we could do that as
What we could do, yes.
was Christmas presents this year. Buy each other tattoos.
Which sounds crazy.
It's completely crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I thought you would never.
Yeah, you're like, oh shoot.
Yeah. No. I didn't think you'd go for it, but I wasn't. Yeah.
Like I thought I was going to ask you, and you'd say no. Now I'm on the hook.
Well, kind of, but I didn't. No, I was serious.
Yeah.
My question was serious.
Yeah,
whether
and
you were,
yeah,
whether
my
you
answer
were
was serious
interested.
too. So then we're just kind of like thinking about the last few days, and my thought is kind of like, well, I've mentioned before I would get like a small tattoo. It wouldn't be something like gigantic or anything like that. But two, this year has been so crazy. I mean, it would kind of be like
I won't repeat what you said when I suggested it.
That's true.
But it seemed like an appropriate thing to do for 2020.
Yeah, and just kind of like be not a memory of this year, because I mean, obviously, a lot of us want to forget how
right.
crazy it was, but
Right.
Also just kind of be like, you know what, just let's do something crazy, just to
The world is probably coming to an end anyway,
Right.
so does it even matter?
yeah. So may as well just go out in flames.
Yeah. Flame on,
Yeah,
as
flame
George
on.
Costanza would say. So you're going to burn that bridge too.
Right.
Flame on.
Flame on.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking. So I have a couple ideas. So I'll share them with you, and we'll show pictures at the end, and welcome any comments or critiques.
But we're not like auctioning off
Right.
the right to select the tattoos.
Yeah.
There was that, I don't even think it's still on, but there was that awful show on MTV
gosh,
that I
yes.
refused to watch,
We would turn the channel if we only saw a snippet of it.
where they would prank somebody. Somebody would be going to get a tattoo,
Yeah.
and they would prank them, and the tattoo would not be what they wanted, or something along those
Yeah.
lines. I found that to be horribly abusive.
Yeah, that's not fun.
No, not at all.
So we did not watch. That's
So
not one of the reality.
you can
TV
comment
shows.
to your heart's content, but no one gets to make the final decision.
Yeah.
So it's like the UN Security Council. We have veto power.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So I started to think about like what I wanted to get, and so at first I was like, I love flowers. Obviously, I love the flowers in the scarf. Like I could do something like that. It could be colorful, but then I was like, it would be cool to have like a symbol of something. So then that kind of got like in a Google search of like symbols for, and I was thinking like, what did we do this year that was like, you had to get through this year, like strength.
Is there a symbol for avoiding getting sick?
Yeah, is there a symbol for like because we didn't
Getting your flu shot?
getting your flu shot, like symbol for like courage or strength or perseverance or something like that. But then you also made a good comment because I showed you some of the pictures, and
Yes. I know what you're going to say.
what if like you Google something like what's the symbol for such and such, and you see a picture and you're like, this is what I want, and it turns out to be something completely not even close.
It's sort of an internet meme, I guess, or whatever. But there have been situations where people thought they'd get some, sort of like an Asian character or whatever, thinking that it meant, mom, but it meant not mom, but whatever,
Yeah, right.
some inspirational thing.
Yeah.
And it meant something completely different. Either it had nothing to do with the inspirational thing that they thought it meant, or it was something like offensive.
Yes. And then you have like this beautiful scripted thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's not good.
It's kind of a classic thing that white folks would do. I'm going to get this, Japanese character, and it means, peace.
That they Googled once.
Yeah, that they Googled once, and it means, something entirely different. This is a family-oriented program, so I won't say.
So then I was searching for those. So I have some good ideas for that, and just kind of thinking like instead of having it to be like a picture of something, having it a symbol that means something else would be kind of cool, and I think I would like it in a color, just like maybe one color, not necessarily just black, but maybe have like almost like a royal blue or something like that.
Well, and here's my thing is that I think it depends on the person, but my concern always is that if, I have nothing against tattoos, but there comes a point in your life, if you're an old man, where it might come across as being a little pathetic. I mean, is it like getting, wearing skinny jeans, or
I don't think
or
so.
Buying a red, convertible sports car
right,
or something like that?
Yeah,
right. Like, what it used to be the Mazda Miata like in the 80s and 90s, but I just, that was always my concern. However, this is sort of my out, because since we started talking about it, then this is my excuse for doing it.
Right.
Whereas before it seemed for someone in my position to do it for the first time. I mean, if you had tattoos all along, then it wouldn't matter how old you were.
Right, because you could just be like continuing like,
But it does have this sort of midlife crisis vibe for someone like me. But in any event, this is my excuse to do it this, now we've stuck our neck out and we've talked about doing it. So,
So we were thinking if we can do it, we're taking time off for the holidays, and there is a place by us that we don't know if it's open or not or whatever. But if it's something that we can do together, we definitely want to go together. Like, I know you'll have to make an appointment probably.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Not just walk in, but if there's a way to do it together, so we can do that. And if that can't happen, then we'll do it as soon as that becomes available, because it wouldn't be fun to do it just like individually.
There's not a point of.
We waited this long.
Well, we waited this long, right? We might as well wait till it's safe. Although
we're going tomorrow,
right? But it would be kind of lame to say, "Oh, let's do it. We'll do it for Christmas," but then like we couldn't actually go together. Like, I'll sit in the car and wait, and you get it done. So what we hope is, and we don't know if this will work, is that we can actually do it, simultaneously.
Yeah.
I mean, not like necessarily at the same time, but we can be there together to do it. And who knows? Maybe we'll film some of it, or video, or
we'll
whatever.
Vlog it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we should do it live.
No.
Because that could be bad. But maybe we'll make some, have some selected, clips or something like that. So I was, in terms of thoughts, I'm actually looking for a picture because I just remembered there's got to be a better way to do this on Facebook.
I hate looking for photos on Facebook.
Well, and I can do it. You can search your profile, so you can actually, if you go to your profile, you can search a term, and it'll pick up any post that has that term or whatever. The harder part is looking at your actual photos, because it's, at least on my computer, it scrolls really slowly.
Yeah.
And I don't make folders and keep things in any kind of organized fashion.
I don't either.
But so one of the ideas that I had, and I have a photo of it somewhere, but I couldn't find it on my hard drive, and I know I posted it somewhere. One of the ideas I had is there is an Irish legend called, it's actually, in Irish it's pronounced Roisin Dubh, but it means black rose. And there's a epic Irish poem and traditional song about it, and the Irish metal group Thin Lizzy did their own really amazing kind of metal cover of it. Like it's like a 7-minute long song. But every year on St. Patrick's Day, I have to post a video of the Thin Lizzy song. But then also, I there's someone I found, and it's like what's the term when you can download a photo like off of Flickr and you're not violating anything?
Shutterstock or something?
No, it's a common license. There's a term, and I apologize. I should remember. Anyway, there was this photo of a sculpture of a black rose, like a metal sculpture, and it was very cool. So that's one possibility.
Okay.
But that would be, no one would really get it, except that I just explained it.
Right.
Then the other thing is, and this is more what I'm leaning towards, would be something relating to music. So, in terms of guitar playing, the people that I play, that I try to play the most, or try to learn the most, whatever. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen and the Clash, or Joe Strummer, who was the main person in the Clash, right? So, I don't like the idea of doing like an actual person as a tattoo because, for one thing, they come off horrible most of the time.
Yes, I was just going to say the same thing.
But secondly, it seems a little creepy to have someone else's actual. I mean, if it's like someone in your family, a kid, a spouse, it's a little bit different. But it's a little
if
too.
If it's a musician, it's kind of like, hey.
It's a little too stalkerish to me if it's a famous person, right? But so like, and with Springsteen, he never. I mean, there's not like an identifiable logo for Bruce because on the albums it's just the the typeface is always different and things like that. So it's not like an identifiable logo, but there's a photograph. There's actually a number of different varieties of it, but there's one that I like from early in his career where he's holding his guitar, and off of the end of the guitar there's two sneakers hanging. They're tied to this, laces are tied together and hang off. And so just the image of the end of the head of the guitar with the two sneakers hanging off. I thought that was kind of
That's
cool.
actually really good.
And there is a publication called Backstreets Magazine that's now mostly online, and they've used that image. I got to see if I can find it. That's actually the photo. So that would be one thing that would sort of identify Bruce. No one would really get it, but I would know what it meant.
And that's all that matters.
Then there's the other thing is like the Clash actually had an identifiable logo for a while. They had a couple of different ones. One was just this kind of blurred script that was on the first album that's been around for a long time. So that was one that I thought, but it's just kind of black and white. Then they also had when the Combat Rock album came out, it was kind of like it looked like a stencil in black over a white star with a red background. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
It looks sort of military almost. There's actually one that really is military. There's a couple that are really military looking where there's like a skull with a helmet on it. There's another one with crossed pistols. It says "Know Your Rights." That's a little much, it's a little too dramatic for me. But I like the two other logos. But the one that I lean towards the most is none of those things.
Okay, I can't wait to hear.
And that is, and I had taken a picture. Well, I have multiple pictures, but my Fender Telecaster is my favorite guitar. Although I don't play it very much because it's more of a production to play electric guitar. You either have to listen to headphones or you have to
jam it out loud.
You have to infuriate everyone who can hear you. But that's like. To me, that's like, and I've got a couple of photos of it. I could just use the photo as a thing, but I like that one the best because, for one thing, I started playing because my brother Tom used to play years ago. I've talked about that before. So even though he wasn't a Fender person, he was a Gibson. He played a Les Paul and a hollow body Gibson ES, but it's still a guitar, and that's why I took it up. And then the other thing is, Bruce always played that guitar, still does. Joe Strummer always played that guitar, so it
covers all bases.
It covers all bases. It's my brother, it's Bruce, it's Joe Strummer. There is one other actually, I really like this one, but I think it would be too complicated. There is an organization, speaking of Joe Strummer, called the Joe Strummer Foundation, which is they raise funds to combat poverty. They raise money to provide struggling musicians all over the world with instruments and
That's so
areas
nice.
where they can practice. They promote groups, in Africa and all over the world. Obviously in the UK where they're centered, and they have a really cool logo. It has Joe Strummer always liked the African colors, the black, red, yellow, and green color combination. So a lot of his more recent things had that because he was heavily influenced by reggae and stuff like that. So it's got those colors in it. It says the Joe Strummer Foundation on it, but it also has his famous quote, which is "Without people, you're nothing." We'll talk about Joe Strummer another time.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things about him was that despite being kind of a cynical punk rocker, he was also one of the most remarkably positive musicians ever. I mean, so in any event, I really think that's cool. The only downside to this one, and I've seen on their Facebook page, people will get tattoos made of the logo and then share photos, and they like that. They will share pictures of other people. So it's not like it would be. It's not like copyright infringement or something like that. They like it, and it promotes the organization. But the only hesitation I have with that one is there is in the center of the logo. There is a silhouette of Joe Strummer, and again,
and that could either turn out great or be.
Well, it's a silhouette, so there's not like the.
Well, true.
The problem with tattoos of like a person's face is that the facial features can come out all wrong.
Right.
Right. So, but it's just a silhouette of him standing with a guitar, so that could work, but I'm still not 100% sure about.
Okay, so do you know where you'd want to have it?
Well, yeah, I don't know for sure. I mean,
because I thought about it, and at first I was like, "Oh, I'll just get it like on my back or something." But then I was like, "No, I want to get it so like I can see it or something like that." So I was thinking like, like right here, like on the shoulder or something like that.
Well, I always thought
the gun shows are.
Well, right. I always see. I have the great combination of having skinny arms and being overweight, which the ladies love that. But so I'm always a little self-conscious about that. But I would probably do it here because I think that would be, you're used to getting shots in your arm.
Then you'll be able to see it, and everything. You can
see it, but I also think, it's not like a super sensitive spot.
Right.
I don't.
It's not like your neck.
I don't really care. I mean, the pain.
I
thing
heard
is
that the top of your foot hurts very a lot.
That would seem like that'd be bad.
This part isn't as bad. Surprisingly, when I was Googling it, they had a thing that had like the worst, how the pain level depending on where you have it kind of thing. And actually this was a low, so I was like, okay.
But I don't know. I think that's I got to keep working out though.
Yeah.
But I think that's
my thing too.
That's the place that I would do it, and I don't think I'd want it to be huge. And the advantage of the guitar, which is the one I'm leaning towards, is that it would be vertical.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be horizontal; it would be vertical.
Exactly.
So that wouldn't take up as much room.
So yeah, so that's our idea. We're gonna do it. So
we just don't know when.
We just don't know when. So we'll update that. We're gonna make some calls in our neighborhood and see what our options are, and then we will definitely keep you apprised.
And there is a place, really, literally only
we can see it from our house.
We can. It's on the other side of the expressway, but it's just about a block away.
It's been there forever.
It's been there for a long time, and they do what they're, I guess it's their Facebook page. I don't think they have a website, but they have a Facebook page. What they say is that to call and leave a message, and they'll call you back to set up an appointment. So they have posts from this week. So
that's good.
They appear to be operational. So we'll see how that goes, and we're going to have some time off coming up. So depending on,
we're just going to end the year with a bang, basically.
But in any event, and also all the reviews were very positive. There weren't a lot of reviews, but they were all very positive. So that seems encouraging. We should see if they would be willing to let us, film a little bit with our phones.
Because people would probably do that all the time.
It would, as long as it came out well, it would be good for their business. It would promote their business.
Definitely. we just wanted to share that with you and see what your thoughts are. But we will definitely catch up with you later, and hope you have a good night. Bye.